Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Eric. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. Well, the reason of my call is to let you know that your state just approved an affordable life insurance plan. It may designed to cover all your funeral and burial expenses. So just to make sure you may qualify, how old are you?
67.
Okay, you are perfectly qualified for this call. So may I know what's your five-digit zip code?
90813.
Okay, and do you make your own decisions?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's pretty much information I needed to acquire. Now I'm going to connect your call to my senior supervisor. He's the best person to further assist you, okay? Thank you so much for holding. I'm Sean. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty well. Thanks for asking. Well, it looks like you're here for your 2024 final expenses insurance. So just to see if I may qualify, can you tell me how old are you? And what's your zip code? And can you tell me what's your date of birth? All right, I got it. And what's your height and weight? All right. And are you a smoker or non-smoker?
Non-smoker.
Oh, that's great. My God bless you. So you are perfectly eligible. And are you currently on Social Security or disability? And do you have an active savings or checkings account? All right. And were you born and raised in the state of California?
No, I was born in Texas.
I got it. So that's the pretty much information I required, and you look perfectly eligible. So the best I can do for you is to connect your call to one of the best licensed agents of your local town, and he is the best person to assist you further and tell you about all the details and discounts that you may qualify for. All right?
Okay.
All right. So may I know how do you pronounce your first and last name?
Lindsay Gardner.
All right. So I'm just connecting your call right now, and when your call will be connected, simply let them know that you're looking for a final expense plan, and you want to know more about it, and they'll guide you further.
Good afternoon. This is Dylan with U.S. Finance.
Yeah, Lindsay is on the line with me, and she's interested in learning about final expense. So please reach them.
Okay. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Dylan. Again, I am the Senior Benefits Coordinator in the Final Expense Department. I'll be assisting you further. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask, okay? Okay, great. So I understand you're looking to set up some final expense insurance for yourself?
Yes.
Okay, great. Before we get into it, are you able to afford $55 to $100 per month?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll hop right into your medical application here. So are you currently a smoker or have smoked in the past year?
No.
All right, perfect. Are you on any Social Security or disability currently?
Social Security.
Do you regularly exercise, walking, jogging, or running?
Yes.
So do you use a traditional bank for that Social Security or a credit union?
A traditional bank.
Okay, ma'am, we're going to get into some medical questions. Perfect. Okay, we're going to get right into your quote now. What state are you currently in?
California.
And your date of birth? All right, and then your height and weight, ma'am? You said 1956. You don't sound a day over 25.
I wish I looked that young too.
I'm sure we all do. I'm sure we all. That's your plans, man. You actually have amazing plans. I've never seen these plans before. So you've got a gold, a silver, and a bronze. So for the gold, you've got $15,000 for only $75 a month. Then you've got $10,000 for $51 a month. Then we've got $5,000 for only $27 a month. Now that's the gold, silver, and bronze. Now we've got a platinum for $20,000 if you're interested in going up.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you have 20K. How much is that one?
You keep going up and up as much as you want. Okay, for the $20,000, it'll be $100 on the dot, or $100.10 a month.
I think that's perfect because I really wanted 20K in coverage just to really make sure that the expenses are covered, and I was hoping to spend 100 or under. So that's perfect. It's like they knew my budget was.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, if you would have called tomorrow, probably would have been $101.
Maybe.
It's weird how insurance works. You age every day. Get another one. Okay, and then what's your first name, ma'am? And do you have a last name?
Gardner.
Okay, ma'am. And what is the best email? We would, of course, email the policy to you so you can look over it. What's the best email for that? I'm good. Okay, and what would be the best address to mail the policy to? Okay, and do you have a primary doctor? Okay, ma'am. And for claims and underwriting purposes, what is your social? Okay, and you were born in California?
Born in Texas.
Texas, okay. Oh, wow. You moved quite away. Do you like it better? You like it over in Texas or California?
Well, I moved from Texas when I was 2, so I don't even remember it, but having visited, I don't think I like it there very much.
I love California, too. I go there once a year. I've got an uncle up there. It's pretty nice. I like it. I know a lot of people that live there might not say that. The name of your bank?
Chase.
You said you went on a cremation. Train it to where you pass the ball, right? Well, we can I want to call.
Hang on.
What do you use to pay your bills?
Your ears are not playing tricks on you. There was quite a bit of background noise in this call. I'm used to having a ton of background noise and being able to hear other agents with the Indian or Pakistani call centers, but it almost never happens with American agents. So clearly this guy is in like a call center or at least a small room with other life insurance agents, and they're all slinging insurance at the same time. Personally, if this were me, it would be very distracting, but I guess he's used to it.
Okay. And what date would you like this payment to start? Okay. And who would be the beneficiary of this policy?
My daughter can do it.
Okay, ma'am. And your routing and account number for your... Okay. All right. So that is it for your application. I'm going to submit it, and then I will have you transferred to my underwriter for him to complete your policy with you, and he'll explain everything else as well. Okay. So he is currently dealing with one person just for a few minutes. So do you mind just holding for a few minutes, and then when he's done, I'll come back to you and I'll transfer you over?
I sat on hold for 7.5 minutes and then decided screw this and just hung up. About 4.5 hours later, Dylan texted me that his underwriter was ready to speak with me. He did call me and he did get me connected to his underwriter, but then I got another call, so I dropped off of that call. I've gone back and forth on the issue of dropping calls. On one hand, these people are hooked. They're gonna rope me in, they're gonna lock me in so they can get their commission. So one way or another, they're going to call me back. Or I can call them back because I have a callback number for them. So not all is lost. And you never know what this other call could be. It could be anything. It could be a car accident call, it could be a PCH scammer, it can be anything. On the other hand, it's often not worth it to do this, and it's kind of rude to the receiving party, and then it leads to disjoined summaries like this, where I have to explain that I got connected, but that I dropped, and it's kind of awkward. Nowadays, I don't do this, but back then I did. I don't even remember what the other call was, but suffice to say, I got connected to the underwriter for a few seconds and then dropped off. Dylan immediately called me and left a voicemail.
Hi, Miss Lindsay. It's Dylan from U.S. Final Expense. My underwriter had an issue with his problem hearing. If you please give us a call back, or I'll call you back, and we'll continue with your process. Thank you.
And 30 minutes later, I called him.
Hi, Miss Lindsay. You got disconnected with my underwriter, so I'm going to transfer you back over to him so you can complete your process, okay?
Dylan, I did want to ask, who do you work for?
Yes, ma'am. It's U.S. Final Expense.
Who was the, so then who did I talk to before I talked to you?
It was another agent at another satellite office that they transferred to me, and I'm the licensed agent. I'm supposed to handle the medical application, because I work with the Medical Information Bureau, and that's why I completed your application. Now I'm going to give you to my underwriter, who is also licensed, and we'll finish it off with you. Is that okay?
That makes perfect sense, and that's why he couldn't give me the quotes, because you're the licensed.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Exactly,
yeah, sure.
exactly. Okay, I'm going to transfer over to my underwriter now.
So I refresh here. I have your date of birth is 11/3/1956, correct?
Yes.
Now, I'm just going to ask you some quick medical questions.
This guy's medical questions were far more detailed than what Dylan asked me. It took about 6 minutes. For context, I always cut the medical questions because they're boring as fuck.
Now, would you like to add a accidental death benefit rider for $8? Basically means if you get in an accident, your benefit amount goes from $20,000 to $40,000. And when would you want the effective date to start? Well, you live in a beautiful place there. California, I believe, to me, has the best weather.
For sure, but also the highest cost of living, so pros and cons.
Yeah, it definitely has its pros and cons. I mean, listen, we're in Florida. You know, I actually live in Miami, Florida. My office is in Coral Springs, Florida. You know, it is nice here. Don't get me wrong, but boy, is it hot. The humidity is atrocious. I can tell you that much.
I've heard the mosquitoes are also pretty bad down there.
Oh, they are. I mean, I live on the water. It's bad for sure.
Over the next 6 minutes, he reconfirms my social security number, address, email, beneficiaries details, date of birth, and my social security number, again, in between long periods of silence.
Because I'm hitting, it's telling me right now, applicant details cannot be validated. The name does not match. Let me make sure I have the right address. I have here, it says right here, Name does not match address, or Social Security does not match applicant. Social Security does not match the date of birth. Date of birth does not match the applicant details. Let me make sure I'm spelling your last name correctly. All right, we're almost done. Get you on your way. So it's asking, do you have a smartphone? Okay. I'm going to need for you to take a picture of your driver's license and send it to me. I'll give you the actual, when you're ready, I'll give you the phone number to text it to. Okay, it's 305-339-8533.
And this goes to...
I got to upload it to the carrier for proof of identity.
The phone number belongs to...
Oh, that belongs to me.
Oh, okay.
It's my cell phone.
And it can't be like a passport. It has to be a driver's license.
Whatever that's a photo ID.
After this, I just put the phone down and ignored it. Presumably, he eventually hung up, and then he texted me telling me he was ready to proceed with the application. Maybe it's just my cynicism, but isn't this a little sketchy to anyone else? You know, don't upload your ID to like a client portal or send it to a secure email address or anything. No, just text it to this random ass number that you've never seen before, and I'll take care of it for you. Like, I don't know, this isn't my first time being asked for my ID when I fail verification, so I don't want to say it's a scam. And I'm sure this is pretty typical. I'm sure there are life insurance agents who can come in the comments and tell me they do this all the time for their clients, but like, it just feels so wrong, you know? Suffice to say, I did not send him my ID. I didn't even send him McLovin, and this is because I still needed more information. All I have about the individual I reached was Dylan from US Final Expense. I don't have a last name, I don't have an NPN, I don't know where he lives, I don't have a company website, I have nothing, and I need to stay in these people's good graces so I can get more information. So I ignored this guy, and the next day, I called Dylan. Hello? Hello?
Hi, is this Lindsay?
Yes?
Hi, Lindsay. You called earlier looking for Dylan?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give you to my underwriter so you can complete your policy, okay?
Actually, I want to chat with you a bit, Dylan. I just had a couple questions. You kind of rushed through the process, so I didn't get to ask anything. What is the name of the company that's going to administer the policy?
CVS Aetna.
Oh, because they're part of...
Aetna,
Okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with the insurance company. And then CVS, the store,
Owns
they've
them.
merged, and they've created like a $70 billion company. So that's who they pay the claims.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
God forbid, when you do pass away, that's who pays everything up.
Dylan, do you have an NPN? I read an article that said I should ask for that. I'm not sure if that's like a proprietary thing that you can't share, but...
What is it?
Do you have an NPN? I'm not sure if you're allowed to share that, but I read an article that said that I should ask for that from the licensed agent.
So are you? Yeah, I mean, I can share that with you. 230-456-19.
So, Dylan, who were the, where did you get my lead from? Oh. He indeed just hung up on me. So, a couple things of note. I'm pretty sure that Dylan transferred me anyway, because as you can clearly hear, this is the underwriter guy answering these questions and not Dylan. I didn't notice it at the time, which is why I kept calling him Dylan, but it's clearly a different voice. Second of all, I'm pretty positive that CVS Aetna doesn't do life insurance, at least according to Google. Maybe their policies are just under a different name, or they're very well hidden or not available to the public, or some such. And finally, the NPN was shockingly fake. Nothing screams professional, genuine, non-scam than lying about the name of the insurance carrier and giving out a fake NPN with requested, then hanging up because the customer is asking too many questions. Unfortunately, we're no closer to figuring out who these people really are, but there's one last piece. If you remember, Dylan said that I had called looking for him, and I did, and I'm going to play that call now. This call happened before the one you just heard, so I'm playing them out of order for dramatic effect, but that call produced some very interesting information.
Good afternoon, verification.
Hi, I'm looking for Dylan.
This is him.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. We're working on a policy yesterday.
I'm sorry, there's two Dylans. Do you know, I know that I didn't speak to you. You're probably looking for the other Dylan, Dylan Baker?
I'm guessing so. He didn't give me his last name, so I was about to ask. Like, do you have like a last name or an NPN? But yeah, so I just have Dylan with US Final Expense.
Okay, great. And what was your name again? I'm sorry?
Lindsay Gardner.
Dylan is out to lunch. He takes lunch between 1 and 2 o'clock. Can I get your phone number and I'll have him call you back?
I can try him again later. Do you, and you guys are U.S. Final Expense, correct?
That is correct.
Do you know if you guys have a website? Because I couldn't find one.
We do. It's usfinalexpense.org. Yeah, and let me ask you, what was it exactly that was Dylan not able to facilitate the order, or what exactly happened?
He transferred me to, I guess it was an underwriter. I don't remember his name, and we were kind of going through the process, but then we got disconnected, and obviously I don't have the underwriter's number because Dylan called me. So I need Dylan to transfer me to whoever he sent me to yesterday.
Okay, I'm looking it up here in the system, and I see that that this was a preferred premium policy, and I guess they needed a driver's license?
I think that's where we left. I can't remember if it was that or other verification information. In fact, it's so weird. I don't even have the name of the company this is to be with. Dylan just kind of speed ran through the process. Like, we have a gold plan, we have a silver plan, and then we signed up for 20K, and it's like, all right, to underwriting. Like, wait, what company? What? He just, I barely got to talk to him.
So, yeah, he's one of our best performers, but he's a very, very astute and assertive guy. Let me say that. I don't want to say aggressive. He's just he's one of our top producers, and he's a great guy. He just sometimes is a little fast for his own good. As far as the driver's license is concerned, I see the note here that they requested a driver's license because they were having some issues with verification. Is that something you have readily available?
So we learned that Dylan's last name is Baker and that he suffers from premature ejaculation. Now here is where we run into problems. There are only 2 licensed Dylan Bakers in the state of California, and both of them have been inactive for a long time. The underwriter guy said that he lives in Florida, that they're based in Florida, and so looking under the Florida registry, there is one Dylan Baker registered in Florida, but he got his license after these calls took place. Now, it is possible that he was just selling insurance unlicensed, but it's hard to say. Another possibility is that his last name is spelled in a very unusual way. It's not Baker, but it's one of these alternatives. Or this is all just a giant scam and there was no life insurance policy after all. Ultimately, I'm not going to show you anyone's licensure profile unless I'm absolutely sure it's that person. Since I can't figure out who this is, I'm just going to give you the phone numbers. Fuck it. So the company is U.S. Final Expense. Their call center number is 754-704-9514. This is what showed up when Dylan would call me back, and this is what I called to get the other Dylan in the call you just heard. This number is, shockingly, no longer in service. The caller ID is Coral Springs, Florida. It is a Twilio number, which is a scammer favorite. Not that there aren't genuine businesses that use Twilio, but scammers fucking love Twilio. And every time you get a scam number, it's almost always Twilio or one of the other VoIP providers. Presumably, they are based in Florida. I was given a website of usfinalexpense.org. Unfortunately, nowadays, that website does not resolve, but it did exist. I did see it at the time, and you can see this snapshot from the Wayback Machine. usfinalexpense.org is for sale if there are any budding scammers out there that want to get into the life insurance business. It's really interesting that that their brokerage folded so quickly. Dylan Baker's phone number is 954-294-4521. The caller ID is Celette Barbara for some reason, and it's with singular. 954 is a Florida area code. And here's a nice picture to once again prove that this is the phone number that he texted me from. I tried calling him and got...
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later.
Which, according to Google, means that the person either has like their phone off or is a no service area, and I guess it doesn't go to voicemail, it just gives you that, I don't know. The underwriter, again, I never actually got his name, his direct line is 305-339-8533. The caller ID, unfortunately, is caller incoming, so that's no help to us at all. His carrier is OmniPoint Miami, which according to the FCC is just another name for VoiceStream Wireless. And again, a picture to prove that this is indeed the number the communications came from. This one in particular is exciting because I actually got a hold of this guy again.
Hello.
Hey, you still doing insurance stuff?
Excuse me?
Are you still doing insurance?
Who's this?
Abigail.
Nah, you got the wrong person.
I was looking to do an insurance policy. Now, I'm pretty persistent, so I used a different phone number, and called them back.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you
How can I help you?
are you a medical underwriter?
No.
What you don't do life insurance stuff?
No.
Did you get this number recently?
No.
How long have you had this number?
For a year?
Interesting. So you never worked with US Final Expense?
Nope.
But you've had the number that...
Are you looking for somebody in particular?
It sounds like your voice, that's for sure.
No. I don't do insurance. How can I help you?
So back in September, I dealt with a broker called US Final Expense with a gentleman named Dylan Baker, and he transferred me to you to do my medical underwriting, and you gave me this number to text you a picture of my ID, and now you're denying everything. So, but I mean, I have a recording. It's your voice. So what's going on?
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. You got the wrong person.
Do you live in Florida? Just like the other time he hung up on me when I asked him his NPN. What a bitch. I wonder if the people who were involved in this got sued or something, and that's why he's being so cagey. But I mean, he lied back then. It's no surprise that he's lying now. After the underwriter lied about his NPN, I texted Dylan my usual spiel about how I'm a journalist and my number's on the do not call list, and the call center he's using is just auto-dialing numbers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to bother reading it. You can pause and read it if you want to. Maybe one of these days I'll dive into using AI voices to read this stuff. I also texted the underwriter with roughly the same spiel about how he shouldn't trust Dylan and the calls are unsolicited and yada, yada, yada. I initially thought that maybe he worked for an insurance company directly, or maybe he was the actual broker and Dylan was still a scammer. But now that I think about it more, these two were probably in the same company, probably in the same room, to be honest. Anyway, you'll be absolutely shocked to hear that neither of these individuals responded to my message. So there you have it. It seems like US Final Expense is no longer around, but the people who were involved live on. Regardless, I'm still going to add their name to the list. And the Final Expense list is getting quite long with these 3 most recent uploads.